welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to do something a little different. Usually we're unpacking these huge, complex external topics, tech trends, history, global economics. We're looking out.
Always looking out at the horizon, yeah.
But today we are turning that lens inward. We're going to slow things down. In fact, I kind of want to set a mood here.
Okay.
Because the source material we're covering, FiveSignals, Decoding the Secret Language of Your Gut, which based on Phelps' work,
Yeah.
it really demands a different kind of attention. It's all about moving away from the noise.
It really is. It's a shift from all that noise of the outside world, you know, the diet trends, the rules, the constant conflicting advice, and turning into something much, much quieter.
And you'd argue much more intelligent.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. So the mission for this deep dive is to explore this idea of biointelligence. We're looking at a set of slides that came with this material, and they really tell a story.
They do.
A story about stopping the fight with your body and actually learning how to read its internal operating system.
And just to set that scene, that first image, the title slide, it's perfect.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's this vibrant green avocado sliced open, and there's this single perfect golden drop of oil just dripping from it.
It's so evocative. I mean, that image really gets to the core of the shift we're talking about today.
How so?
Well, most of us, when we think about health or dieting, we think about subtraction, right? We think about what we have to take away, empty plates.
Deprivation.
Exactly. This image is about abundance. It symbolizes that move from deprivation to deep cellular nourishment.
It looks lush. It doesn't scream diet food. It feels like a luxury. And I think that's the perfect place to start. So let's unpack this term. We talk about intelligence all the time, but we usually mean the brain. What exactly is biointelligence?
Okay, so let's jump to the second slide in the deck. The visual is an illustration of the human body, but it's glowing. You see these golden neural pathways, these energy centers all lit up. Right.
And the text here makes a really important distinction. Biointelligence isn't a metaphor. It's not just some poetic way of saying intuition. It's an actual biological reality, and it's rooted in our cellular history.
A reality that just runs on autopilot.
Precisely. I mean, think about it. Right now, as you're listening to this, you're not consciously telling your heart to beat.
No.
You're not managing the pH balance of your blood or telling your white blood cells what to do. Every single second, your body is performing trillions of functions. Trillions. It knows how to heal, how to regenerate, how to thrive, all without your cognitive input.
So the body's the expert and the mind is just along for the ride.
The mind is the passenger. But here's the kicker, and the slide points this out. There's a disconnect. Modern life has basically dulled our hearing. We've lost the manual to our own biotech.
We've lost the manual.
We have. We try to run our biology using our cognitive mind. We follow external rules and schedules and these rigid plans instead of getting back into what the slides call biological time. It's like we're trying to override a supercomputer with a calculator.
That's it. It just doesn't work.
And when you say fuel, we're not just talking about gas for a car. We're talking about feeding a massive ecosystem. This next slide is just fascinating. It's called the inner city of 100 trillion.
This is such a crucial shift in perspective. The visual shows a petri dish, but inside it looks like this colorful, diverse galaxy of microbes.
It's beautiful.
It is. And the reality is you are a symbiotic organism. You are hosting 100 trillion microorganisms in your gut.
100 trillion.
Yeah.
That's a number that's hard to even wrap your head around. It really puts the idea of eating for one in a whole new light.
It does. And they act as the soil to your body's roots. Think about it like that. A plant can't thrive in dead soil.
Right.
Well, you can't thrive with a dead microbiome. These microbes are doing all the heavy lifting, breaking down foods, synthesizing vitamins, even influencing your genetics. They're the front line of your immune system. If the soil is dead, the plant just withers.
The slide mentions a specific balance here, too. It says a healthy gut needs something like 85% aerobic, or life-giving organisms, and 15% anaerobic.
Right. It's like a forest. You need that fertile, mineral-rich environment to sustain that diversity. But if the soil is depleted, or if we bombard it with antibiotics, processed sugars, stress, the whole balance flips.
The weeds take over.
The weeds take over. And that brings us to why so many of us feel terrible, even when we're trying so hard to be healthy.
Which is a perfect lead-in to this section on the trap of false energy. This next slide, number 4, is a circular diagram, and Honestly, looking at it feels a little uncomfortably familiar.
It's the seek and do not find cycle, and it explains why we so often feel hungry but never ever truly satisfied. It's the loop of modern exhaustion.
Let's walk through the steps on this wheel because I think a lot of listeners will see themselves here. It starts with faulty farming.
Everything begins with the soil. If our food is grown in depleted soil, and most industrial agriculture is, it's lacking in minerals. So even if you eat a carrot, if that carrot grew in dead dirt, you're starting at a nutrient deficit from the get-go.
Which leads to step 2, unfood consumption, eating empty calories.
Exactly. Because your body isn't getting the deep nutrients it needs, it stays hungry. It just keeps signaling for more, so you eat more. And it's often processed stuff because it's easy and it's engineered to be hyper-palatable.
And that leads to step 3, the acid state, or internal rot.
Ugh, sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Not at all.
It's harsh language, but it's chemically accurate. When you eat unfood, it ferments. This creates inflammation, or what the slide calls enteric trauma. Your gut is literally on fire.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. That physical inflammation leads directly to step 5, mood imbalance, anxiety, fatigue.
This is a huge connection. We usually think of anxiety as, a brain problem, a psychological issue, but this is saying it starts in the gut.
The gut is sending distress signals up to the brain.
It is, and you feel it as anxiety or brain fog. And what do we do when we're tired and anxious?
We hit step 6. We crave stimulants.
We reach for the coffee, the energy drink, the candy bar.
The quick fix.
Exactly. We seek energy to fix the fatigue. But because we're choosing stimulants, we just restart the whole cycle. We crave nourishment, but we seek unfood to numb the discomfort. It's a trap. You're just spinning your wheels and burning out your engine.
There is a really stark visual on the next slide, slide 5, that just drives this home. On one side, you have a dirty ashtray full of cigarette butts, and it's labeled stimulants.
Ugh.
And on the other side, a juicy, cooked steak labeled nourishment.
It's a provocative image, isn't it? It's meant to kind of shock the system a bit. Because stimulants, and that includes processed sugars, caffeine, all those synthetic additives, they act as an emergency override.
An override.
They trick the body, they force a release of energy reserves, and that creates a temporary high.
But it's fake energy.
Okay.
It's like using a credit card to pay off another credit card.
That is the perfect analogy. It's borrowed energy. And you have to pay it back with interest. That's the crash. That's adrenal fatigue. You're just whipping a tired horse.
Whereas real nourishment, like the steak, it provides stimulating energy, but it builds the body's fire with slow-burning fuel.
Yes. And the key phrase here that I love is that food is information for your genetics.
Food is information.
Uh-huh.
That's powerful. You're not just filling a tank. You are coding your own software.
Right.
So if we want to stop writing bad code, we need to learn the language. And this brings us to the real core of this deep dive, decoding the 5 signals.
This is the practical toolkit. Up until now, we've just been guessing. And the slide here shows these 5 distinct icons. You've got a water drop, a crystal cluster, a molecule structure, a drop of oil, and a fruit branch.
The 5 vocabularies of the gut.
Exactly.
And before we break them down, there's a disclaimer on the slide that I think is so important for people to hear. It says, intense urges are not moral failings or weaknesses.
Oh, I'm so glad you highlighted that. We carry so much guilt about cravings. We think, oh, I have no willpower, or I'm just weak.
Right.
But biointelligence suggests these urges are actually specific biological requests. Your body is asking for cellular energy, for ATP. It's screaming for resources. We tend to misinterpret the language.
We hear the noise, but we don't understand the words.
Precisely.
Okay, let's do some translation. Signal number 1, looking at slide 7, is the water drop.
Hydration, super simple but fundamental. It's the carrier of life. It's essential for metabolizing food, for transporting nutrients. If you're dehydrated, nothing else works right.
And often, that first signal of hunger is actually just thirst.
So often, yeah.
That one seems straightforward. But the next one, signal 2, the mineral. This is where I think a lot of us get tripped up. The signal is salty or savory.
Yes. This is the classic, I need a bag of chips moment. When you have that intense craving for something salty, your body isn't actually asking for processed table salt.
Sodium chloride.
Right. It's a cry for deep mineralization. It wants soil-rich foods, roots, real salts like Himalayan or sea salt. Because minerals are what conduct electricity in your body. Without them, your spark goes out, you feel dull, heavy,
So the bag of chips is the unfood answer to a real mineral question.
Exactly. You eat the chips, you get that sodium spike, but you don't get the magnesium, the potassium, the trace minerals, so the craving doesn't actually go away. You just end up feeling bloated and still unsatisfied.
And your cells are still shouting, we need
They're
minerals.
still shouting.
Okay, moving on to slide 8, we have energy and architecture. 3 more signals. Number 3 is protein, shown as a basket of eggs.
The function of protein is repair. Simple as that. It provides the building blocks for your tissue for structural integrity if you're feeling physically weak or maybe you're recovering from a workout, an illness, stress. That urge for something dense and substantial, that's a protein signal.
It's your body asking for bricks to rebuild the house.
Perfect. Then we have signal 4, fat. And the image is this bowl of rich yellow butter or ghee. Now, we've been trained to fear this image.
For decades.
We have. And it's been so detrimental. Fat is all about protection. The signal is a craving for rich, creamy textures. Fat is absolutely essential for brain health, for hormonal balance.
Your brain is mostly fat.
It is. So if you're feeling scattered or ungrounded or your hormones are all over the place, if you feel like a live wire with the insulation stripped off,
That feeling of being frayed.
yes,
Mhm.
your body might literally be screaming for high-quality fats to re-insulate your nervous system.
Wow. And finally, signal number 5, sugar. The image is a honey dipper.
The function is fuel. The signal is that desire for sweetness or for immediate energy.
Okay, this is the one that gets us in the most trouble.
It does, because we reach for candy or soda, but the signal itself is valid. Your body does need quick energy sometimes. It's just asking for natural sugars from fruits, honey, maple syrup that can be easily converted to ATP without that violent insulin spike. It's all about the source of the fuel.
So we have the 5 words in the vocabulary. Water, mineral, protein, fat, sugar. But how do we know if we're getting it right? The next slide, number 9, says, your mood is data.
This is the feedback loop. The visual is a neuron with a dashboard gauge. On one side, it's red, labeled foggy anxious. On the other, it's green, labeled vibrant clear.
It calls mood a check engine light.
And that is the best way to think about it. If you're feeling anxious, irritable, foggy, that is biofeedback. It's not just having a bad day. It's an indication of a lack of nourishment or a toxin overload.
So anxiety isn't just in your head, it's in your gut.
The gut is the enteric brain. It produces a huge amount of your serotonin and dopamine. If your gut is inflamed or it's starving for minerals, you physically cannot produce the chemicals that make you feel calm and happy.
You're trying to run a happiness program on broken hardware.
Exactly.
The slide says, don't suppress the emotion, feed the deficiency. Change your food to change your mood. That is incredibly empowering. It takes it out of the realm of psychology and puts it right into biology.
It gives you something actionable to do. If you feel anxious, don't just worry about being anxious. Ask yourself, am I mineral deficient? Do I need fat to ground my nervous system?
But we can't just eat these things in isolation. The next slide, number 10, is called the power of synergy. It shows oil being poured over a lush salad.
This is so crucial. You can eat the best food in the world, but if you don't combine it correctly, you might not even absorb the nutrients. Synergy satisfaction means that bioavailability depends on combination.
And the mechanism it highlights is combining fats plus minerals plus proteins.
Think of it like a lock and key. Many vitamins and minerals are fat soluble. So if you eat a big bowl of raw kale, which is full of minerals, but you eat it dry,
It just passes right through.
it passes right through. Your body can't access those nutrients. But if you add olive oil, that's your fat, and maybe some seeds, your protein, you suddenly unlock all that nutrient absorption.
And the result listed on the slide is that the natural stop signal works.
This is the holy grail for anyone who struggles with overeating. When you achieve that synergy, when you get fat, mineral, and protein together, your cells send a signal to your brain that says, okay, we got the package. You can stop now.
You feel truly satisfied.
Truly satisfied, not just full or bloated. There is a huge, huge difference.
I think we've all felt that. Eating a huge meal of empty carbs and feeling physically stuffed, but still hunting in the pantry for something.
That's the seek and do not find cycle all over again. Synergy breaks that cycle because the body actually gets what it asked for.
So how do we implement this?
Yeah.
We have 2 slides left on strategy. Slide 11 is the golden rule. Add, don't subtract.
This is the antidote to diet culture.
The visual is a beautiful bunch of radishes and a scale showing an 80-20 balance.
Right, and because diets usually fail. They focus on subtraction, don't eat this, cut that out. And that just triggers scarcity psychology. As soon as you tell yourself you can't have something, it becomes the only thing you want.
You binge.
You end up binging. So the strategy here is to focus 100% on adding.
Just add the good stuff.
Yes, add the basic 5. Focus on getting the water, the minerals, the quality proteins. And as you flood your body with real nourishment, the cravings for the unfood they naturally diminish. It's called crowding out.
You don't have to fight the junk food. You just push it out with the good stuff.
Exactly. There's no room left and your cells are happy. And that 80-20 approach is about consistency, not perfection. If you're fueling your biointelligence 80% of the time, the system is resilient. It can handle a little noise.
Okay, the next strategy slide, number 12, is titled Become Self-Referential. It shows a hand planting a seed.
This is the ultimate goal, moving from external rules to internal growth. The concept is biochemical individuality. No two bodies are the same. A diet that works for an influencer on Instagram might be a total disaster for your specific microbiome.
So the shift is from saying the diet says to saying my body says.
And learning to trust your no. This is a profound point. Malnourishment makes us passive. When you're running on sugar fumes and false energy, you don't have the resilience to set boundaries.
But real nourishment gives you the energy to trust your instincts.
Yes. You become the expert on yourself.
There is a profound idea that eating well is actually a prerequisite for personal agency.
It absolutely is. You can't be sovereign if you're starving at a cellular level.
Okay, we're at our final slide now, slide 13. And I want to do this exactly as the source material suggests. It's titled, Start Listening Right Now.
And it brings back that image of the avocado.
With the golden droplet.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a checklist, a way to check in with your biointelligence right in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone listening, if you can, just pause for a second. We're going to slow it down right here. Take a breath. We're going to run through these questions. Can you walk us through them?
Okay, so close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do that, and just drop your awareness out of your head and down into your body.
Okay.
First, just ask yourself, are you thirsty? Is your mouth dry? That's the water signal. Second, do you feel foggy? Is there a specific craving for salt on your tongue? That's the mineral signal. Third, do you feel physically weak? Is there a kind of hollowness in your muscles? That's a request for protein. Fourth, do you feel ungrounded, maybe a bit scatterbrained, anxious? That's a need for fat. And finally, is your energy just low? Are you dragging? That's the signal for natural sugar.
It's amazing how just pausing to ask the question changes a relationship with your body.
Yeah.
It stops being an enemy to fight and starts being a partner to listen to.
That's the mantra this slide leaves us with.
Yeah.
Learn, practice, live. It's a practice. You won't get it perfect every time. You'll miss signals. But the body is so forgiving. It wants to heal. It is designed to heal.
Your body knows exactly what it needs to thrive. That is the promise of biointelligence.
Yep.
This has been fascinating, taking this quieter, slower journey today. It really makes you rethink that next meal, not as a chore, but as a conversation.
A conversation with an intelligence that's been refining itself for millions of years. It's worth listening to.
Absolutely. Thank you for guiding us through this. And to our listener, start that conversation today. Maybe it starts with a glass of water, or maybe it's just taking a breath and asking, what do I need? We'll see you on the next deep dive. Stay curious.